Okay, so Sultai Dreadhorde. People have been asking me what I think could possibly be the best Risen Reef shell this season, and I definitely think I would bet that this is in contention for one of the better Risen Reef shells this season. Risen Reef shells. Thanks for the gift, Captain Command. This card's very powerful, and we get to combine it with other very playable elementals. Yarok here double triggers Risen Reef when it comes into play. It also doubles up your Explorer creatures. We got a couple different Cavaliers here, which is sweet. We've got Command the Dreadhorde to allow us to go way up over the top of other things other people have going on. So, just got out of my exam for my summer class, and I got treated with a wonderful display of value. Thanks for being here, cool guy. Happy Tuesday. Let's hop back on in here, shall we? To Halden, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I really think one Tamiyo is probably okay. Like, this deck has a lot of other value-driven cards in it, and you only have so much room for cards that don't impact the board when you play them. Hey, Ibish. Good luck to you as well. Yeah, it's fine. It's got Walker into Risen Reef. Hopefully we hit an Explore creature. Got her bones, got her bones, got her bones, got her bones, do-do-do. Right, not a Dreadhorde Arcanist. That's a good step one for us. I think we've died, chat. I think we've died. Feeling pretty dead, man. Yeah, the 1/3 had looked okay on this board. If we can hit a black source on this Risen Reef and get to play Cavalier of Night on 4, maybe we have a chance. All right. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am honestly surprised they didn't just use this to 1 this and 2 me. So we're going to 8. Yeah, right, Scholar? It's like everybody came out of their haze of let's play mopey sweet things. They're like, nah, it's been a week. We're done. And well, it's exactly a week actually, right? Like last Tuesday the set dropped. Oh no. Oh, chat. Who told this person to put Tibalt in their main deck? What kind of crazy person would do that? Yeah, if black green rock doesn't go well today, we're gonna play Aristocrats on Thursday. We'll see though. All right, so we're going to 5. The out here is untap, draw Jadelight Ranger, right? That's the out. right. Going to 3. Oh no! Going to 4. They killed it, right? That makes sense. That's a good play. That's a good play. And we're dead.
My assistants are painfully sloppy.
Thanks for the biddies tracks. Hey, P Mason, thanks for the 3 months of Prime. Welcome back. I want to resolve Brainstorm. Ordering will be done in the next step. Interesting. Neat. Neat. We're dead. We're dead no matter how we slice this. Because this deals 2 when it dies. This deals 1 when it dies. Now it's clean. Cast down sounds lovely. Massacre interface. Massacre girl sounds good. Tamiyo sounds slow. Cavalier of Night, you're staying in my deck. Thank you. Ritual of Soot's probably pretty okay here, huh? Command the Dreadhorde is not necessary. Risen Reef dies to all the ping effects. I think it's still fine. Yarok lifelinks as well. How about Cavalier Gales? This is probably an okay cut. This accelerates us on occasion too, like hitting some of these a turn ahead of time is good. It's like 3 mana draw a card with flag, extra upside. Sure. Missing a color, but like Branchwalker to stem some early breeding into seems fine. This is our first match with the deck, Cab. That was match one, game 1. You just watched. This is not a particularly aggressive start out of the opponent. They have 7 cards still, right? So they kept their opener. Deal. Resolves. For people asking questions about the Cavaliers, again, remember that a lot of the decks we play on this stream are viewer submitted deck lists. So this is currently card for card what someone had sent in to me. We're playing some games with it to see how the cards feel before we make any small changes like swapping Cavaliers around. Honestly, even just the effects aside, like this game here, like what's the mana base look like in this deck? So like how many blue sources do we have? Because like we almost certainly have more green, right? Triple blue seems like it's potentially questionable.
You want to play with fire, huh? This is just gonna be bad for you.
All right, well they're gonna get to shock us. So we only have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 15 blue in this deck. That is not a lot of blue. Hey, Mean Bean. Life is swell. Our Ritual of Soot have really not lined up well this game. I think I'm just casting down this Mayhem Devil. Yeah, the blue Cavalier might be a reasonable cut just by virtue of its casting cost. So, Veil of Summer does technically counter priest activation, but only if they've cast a blue or black spell. Wait, does it give you hexproof regardless? I forget the exact word. I know you only draw a card if they've cast a blue or black spell. I'm not sure if the hexproof and stuff depends on that as well. Easy block here. Yep.
The more, the messier.
Chandra is so good in that deck. Just like having a way to sustained card advantage without getting it Ritual of Soot away is real good. This is where the magic happens, chat. This is where the magic happens. All right. All right. Dead to a lot. Do. There's a Tybalt in play. We can't gain any life now. Tybalt says we can't gain any life now. Going to 3 here so we can hopefully gain some life. Rude. Where it's like hoping to hit a cast down. This gives me 2 triggers too and puts a lifelink thing in play. Should open and just hit cast down or trophy on one of these 2 cards. Yeah, and without cast down or trophy there, I think we're just dead. This is gonna kill us. It's the next card. Why is it always the next card? We're dead on board, chat. It doesn't matter. We're dead on board. Took us too long to fight a blue source that game. And by the time we found it, they had Tybalt set up, and we just couldn't do anything. Yeah, after that game and looking at the mana, we're gonna cut the blue Cavalier. We just can't cast this card consistently. 15 is not castable for that, even with the extra cards we see game to game. I mean, that's one of the upsides to playing the Aristocrats deck, right? Is like having a deck that's aggressively slanted means that when your opponent stumbles, you don't give them a chance to recover. Like, we eventually found our blue mana, but we fumbled around so long that they were able to apply enough pressure to still close the game out. It appears to have not been posted in the Discord. It's on the Stream Decker page. Hey, thanks for the 1.5 years, Jedi Jeff. Welcome back. Oh, it has not been our day. It's just been a rancid day for just all games. We ran really bad in Underlords this morning, too. They've also mulliganed to 5. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the best of the hands we've looked at, right? If there were cards that could unmulligan us, it's these, right? Explore creatures are also good. Let's find another green source. If we hit a green source, we're gonna get to play a game of Magic. That's true. That's true. We're getting all of the cumulative variants out of the way before we play tournaments tomorrow and Thursday. Storing up that sweet, sweet good luck. Just dead. You think we could talk him into switching to poker? What do you think? Heads up. We just be like, well, double or nothing. Let's switch from Magic to poker. Jadelight's full. I mean, like, this isn't even because our deck is bad, Marty. This is just like, you know, pretty typical, like, Magic the Gathering sucks sometimes and you don't get to play happens. Like, it's just how it goes, part of the game. Bring in some removals. Cut this at the top end. This probably isn't good enough. It's not really a sweeper as we get to the mid game in this matchup. Mean Bean, I'd encourage you to look at my lands and see why we were laughing to understand. Understand the answer to that question. I don't think Massacre Girl is very good. My opponent's deck frequently makes their creatures very large. Mordix, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it's the worst when you have matches like this that happen in paper. That's the thing that makes paper Magic extra miserable. Because, like, at least when we hit bad variants online, we can just, like, queue up and play another match and, like, get another chance. When you have bad variants in paper, you have to, like, sit there and stew on it for another 45 minutes for the next match to start. Just like, well, there goes my entire round. Not blocking, might as well attack for one. As you mulligan, you have to think about how bad your 6 was as you shuffle your 5. Yep. Yep.
I will defend the weak at every opportunity. I will lend you my strength.
Yeah, not for anything meaningful though, AGH. Like if I wanted to just play matches for no prizes, like I just go online and play for funsies, right? Because the amount of matches I get in is like really incredible online. But like when I'm playing, if I'm taking the effort to play in paper, I'm like going to a thing to like try and do well. And like once you blow out your actual match, the rest of the matches aren't meaningful. Yeah, Jadelight's a great pickup here. Makes the Wildgrowth Walker bigger, also gives us the ability to propel to 5 lands, considering our hand is 3 5-drops other than this Jadelight Ranger.
I believe in you.
I believe in you. You're so inspirational, Gideon. Jadelight kicks Walker up to a,
Welcome to my symphony of pain. Oh, you're so cute.
Alright, we hit a land drop at least. We got that going for us. We have a 3/5 that blocks the Gideon. I get to give Tybalt a love tap here. Knock him down to 1.
That's my job.
This lets them finish Wildgrowth Walker with a burn spell, but then they're like not finishing Hydroid Krasis with a burn spell. And if I get to kill this and play Enter the God Eternals, we might be okay here.
New torches are needed.
We're milling myself here because my deck has graveyard value things like Cavalier of Night. We might actually be stabilizing here. We get to put a tap land into play. I'm up to 11. If you sent me money for something and it's not added to the deck queue the same day you send me money for it, excluding obviously if you sent money today, you should respond to the email I sent you confirming your submission was okay, saying, hey Jeff, I donated for this and it hasn't been added yet. Because sometimes, especially during release weeks, I miss things. This is a one-man show, so sometimes things get busy and they get missed. So if you donated for something and it hasn't been added appropriately, let me know. Preferably via email and not just a message in Twitch chat. It's a shame we didn't hit a land there, because if we would have hit a land, we would have been able to go Yarok into this. I think we're still plenty fine here. We're going to do this, which cranks this to a 6/6.
Bravery wasn't enough.
All right. I flooded out a little bit there. Been on that side of the feather draw before. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's do it. Yeah, honestly, Marty, I might argue that, Tybalt is better than Sihili. I can never tell what that song is. That's, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. This seems fine, right? I got a Doomblade. I've got this into another one of these. Reef power! Reef power! If they play a Dorko, no, they didn't. Sweet. I was saying, if they play a Legionnaire there, I think I'm gonna cast it down. Turtle Man! Thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I would like to kill your thing, please. Reckless Rage. Do. Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage. Alright, so hoping to hit an untapped land here and drop the old Yarok in the play. Yeah, if you Dreadhorde Yarok out, his friends get double triggers. That is how magic works. I don't believe the current turn is listed anywhere on Arena's interface. So if they have another way to deal damage, they can use this Dreadhorde Arcanist to kill my Yarok here, which would suck. Or that. I have a couple Assassin's trophies in my deck. We could hit one of those still. Is that a good one? How do we feel? How do we feel about that one? The pit in your stomach as an aggro player when someone casts Enter the God Eternals against you is just like, it's a deep one. It's like it cuts so deep. I'd be pretty surprised something close to what we're playing doesn't end up being competitive. Like, this seems like a good Risen Reef shell because we've got a lot of good tools that allow us to respect the aggro decks, and Risen Reef is a card that's inherently good against other mid-range and control decks. Especially with Command the Dreadhorde to go way up over the top of it with it.
Gods bless us in our righteous cause. Share in my light.
Gosh, why does Wildgrowth Walker draw a card, chat? It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Do you have any Kai card decks in the queue? I don't know what that card is, so I'm gonna say probably no. Gosh, if they don't have a way to kill this Wildgrowth Walker, this game is over. Even if they do, we have a giant Krasis next turn, but yep. Oh, you know, someone else had asked about that card earlier today. I don't think we do. There might be a hero deck. I'm a liar. There might be a hero deck. We have Jeskai something. Actually, doesn't look like there's any Jeskai decks in there. As always, there's enough things in the deck queue that I usually don't have them all memorized. Okay, couple of bottoms there. Are we jump blocking? What do we trophy here? I think it's this prison realm, right?
Villain.
Is that greedy? I think it's the prison realm, right? Going on a safari. Do 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 do. They could kill us with a really good God's Willing this turn, right? Just like pro green, pump it to the sky. Pump up, the bump up, the wump up, the jam. Pump up, the wump up, the bump up, the jam. Oh no. That's so rude. That's so rude. I've only ever heard that sung at 1.5x speed because I'm a YouTube watcher. Are we attacking me? Are we about to get aggro up in here? Up in here. Up in here. Bum 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 bum. Boo doo 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 doo. Alright, so I'm gonna send here Will Krasis for 6, gain 3. And then I have a black creature and a blue-green creature, so they need double God's Willing to slip past. Which seems good for me.
I feel like death.
Going up to 8. I think the diversity of colors here, my creatures, means they can't get us. Like, we could technically die here. They could have, like, Defiant Strike into God's Willing kill us, but it's pretty unlikely. Yeah, we get dubs, Reef triggers. Standard players fear the Reefer. He draws all the cards. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. And these matches for decks like this especially, like... We definitely get better post-board in the aggro matchups, and the aggro decks get against us. Aggro decks get to run us down game 1s, but post-board we're in a pretty good spot. I'm usually playing the Reefer, so I don't get smoked by it. I think this is a mulligan, right? He just doesn't do much. We're gonna bottom the triple black card in the hand with no black mana. Lucky. Lucky. Looks like Enter the God Eternal is going to be a blank this game. This is one of the reasons why the Nexus decks are so good, is because these mid-range and control decks have to have cards to respect the aggro decks, which means they have a bunch of cards that are just blanks in matchups like this. Assassin's Trophy sounds quite excellent to draw, though. We get to go 4 power dork here, 2 power dork next turn, or just trophy. Or just trophy. May I add this to my trophy case? Thank you. I mean, like, a 5-mana 4/4 is, like, pretty dead. Yay! Yay! Magic! Woo! Standard! So... I'm gonna be honest. So I've talked about, I wish they would have banned Teferi and Wilderness Reclamation instead of like making us suffer through this. But you know what? The more and more I think about it, I think the actual issue with this format is they should have just stuck to the faster rotation cycle. Could you imagine how different this format would be if like Dominaria and not even Dominaria, like just the first 2 sets would have rotated out? If just the Explore package was gone. Like, I really wish they would have, like, had a spine and, like, stuck to that for at least a cycle. Instead of, like, bailing on it after the first try. Think that would have done wonders. Wow. This deck has, like, actual 0 cards for this matchup, huh? I have Elderspells. Like, I need like 9 cards to bring it out of my sideboard here. Elderspell and like Veil of Summer are like maybes, but we have no counter spells, no discard spells. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the next one. All right, let's try it. Should I address that? I feel like I should address that. And this is actually, so like a lot of, if you look at a lot of the sideboards that decks I've been building, a lot of the sideboards I've been building actually have more Duresses than Veil of the Summers, and Nexus is exactly the reason for that. In fact, in this deck, I don't think I want any Veil of the Summers because I have blue cards. I think I just want like Negates and Disdainful Strokes, because like you need to be able to interact on the stack in this format. If you can't take things out of their hands, it's just not good enough. Yeah, I think I like the Jace for the grindier matchups, just because we're going to see most of our deck in the grindy matchup, so having one copy of him when we're grinding doesn't seem unreasonable. Especially because Cavalier of Thorns can like flip him back on top of my deck when we're ready to win the game with him. I think the Miser copy of him is probably fine. Hey, Ancient Reality, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Godsire Hawk with the tip. I've arrived in Hoaglandia today. All is right in the world. Well, happy Tuesday. I appreciate it. Yeah, Duress is just a good card all around. It's like fine against the Esper decks, and it's like decent against Reclamation. The rate of efficiency in terms of amount of mana you're spending is really good on it. This hand needs some lands, but we're on the draw and we've got a Merfolk Branchwalker, so probably more than fine. Is this deck not playing Temples? No, there's Temples in here, right? Am I crazy? There's actually 0 Temples in this deck. Can't believe I missed that. Let's fix that after this match. If your deck doesn't have a bunch of 1-drops in it, it should probably have a minimum of 4 Temples in this format, just for reference. All of these mid-range decks should be on like a 4-temple minimum. They had an absurd amount of consistency, and they come at a fairly low cost. Hey, look, it's another Reclamation deck. I feel like everybody on the arena ladder collectively got together and decided was like, well, the format's been out for a week. We're all done playing sweet things. Time to slam aggro and Wilderness Reclamation. Oh. I want to plus this for Jadelight. Really want to hit a land drop here next turn, and Jadelight gives me the best chance to do that.
To the library.
So, he sucked like me and word him, I think he wouldn't have this problem. Is it the same opponent? Forgot making sweet decks left already because the format sucks. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. I think, especially especially after we have the Open this weekend and the Grand Prix the next weekend. I bet this format's going to very quickly get back to a point where we were at the end of last season, where I was pretty spent. Which is actually part of the reason I reached out to Fandom to play in their tournaments, because the end of last season deck submissions slowed down a lot because the format was kind of bad. So playing a tournament once a week or every other week or so sounds good. Well, I mean, if I get a turn, I have an Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I'm gonna pick a trophy back up.
The tracks of the wise. I have reached my limit.
Hey, Mustache, thanks for the 3-1-3 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you. I know I noted this somewhere.
Nah, our Tamiyo's full art. You judge fancy by how much it costs your wallet, okay? Our fancy was more expensive, thus it's better. Gosh, do you think we'll get a turn, chat? I really hope we get a turn someday. I really like taking turns. Magic's fun. I like playing Magic. Hopefully I get to play. Hopefully I get to play. I'm really hoping I get to play. Oh, do I get a turn? That's exciting. No, the opponent's archetype literally won the last Mythic Championship. For the person who's asking, did Teferi shut this down? It beat Brad Nelson, arguably the best standard player in the world, playing a Teferi deck in the finals.
Never forgotten.
Oh, and by the way, they got a Temple in the last set because their deck wasn't good enough. Yeah, it beat a number of the best players in the world playing what's supposed to be its worst matchup. This is on 2. Shouldn't have played the Wildgrowth Walker. So, honestly, I feel like the fact that Wilderness Reclamation and Nexus of Fate, that this deck exists, is kind of my fault. Because I kind of like ran from playing Modern on Magic Online to playing this format, playing Standard on Arena, and like, oh yeah, just a huge upgrade. Yeah, seems good. Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is definitely what this deck was missing. I agree. Definitely was missing Dig Through Time. All right. I get it. So I was trying to get away from Modern and the rancid gameplay that format has, and it followed me here into Standard. So maybe if I hadn't come to Standard trying to get away from it, it wouldn't have followed me. So basically you have me to blame. All right, we have a bunch of discard spells and counter spells this time, so we're not going to concede the match like we did last time. We put some cards in the sideboard, so we maybe have a shot. Maybe. What happened to the standard format? 3-mana Teferi and Narset happened. This format also has a lot of really incredibly swingy gameplay patterns because of cards like Land War Elves. So Magic is a game that tends to be fun because you get to do your thing in a sweet manner, whereas this format is littered with cards that literally say, hey, you know that thing your deck's designed to do? Yeah, you don't get to do that. Stop it. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, actually. We should tell, if you're watching my stream, you should take 10 minutes and go fill out the survey. And when I say the survey takes 10 minutes, I'm not exaggerating. It's a long survey. But there's a question in that survey for your favorite Magic content producers. So I'd appreciate it if you take 30 seconds, or if you take the 10 minutes and go list yours truly in there. There's also some free-form comment sections in that forum. So if you want to go tell wizards things like you're not putting money into standard or arena until they fix the standard format, that's probably also a reasonable idea. If you're someone watching this on YouTube in the future, if you come into my Twitch chat and type !survey, you'll get a link to it. There's also a link shared in other places. One day we'll be upgraded from other. Hey, we're at almost 60,000 followers here. We're getting close. We're getting close. Would you look at that? Just mono redundancy. Survey is here. It's a good one. Finally burned through our negates. Come on. Puppy! Come on! That's not strictly true, Punchworthy, because that WotC survey lists Tolarian and it lists alpha investments, so I'm pretty sure there are a few people on there that are smaller that are friendly with WotC, but I think getting on that list has largely to do with follower counts. There's a few people on there that I know WotC's not friendly with. I'm not sure how I feel. I've watched a number of Alpha Investments things. I'm never sure how I feel about him. Like, he said some stuff that is just like, but he's also really funny pretty consistently. I mean, like, I have an Assassin's Trophy for the search for Azcanta. So they're gonna blow up. We're actually not in a bad spot here. They're gonna blow up this blast zone to not die, and then we're gonna trophy this Azcanta. And then, like, unless they find another sustained source of card advantage, these reclamations aren't doing anything yet. Yeah, I mean, they have Chemister's Insight, which, like, gives them a good chance to hit something meaningful here, but again, this isn't sustained card advantage, right? Yeah, they have lots of mana. They need to hit a way to, like, get back to Nexus every turn. Like, obviously they could hit a Nexus here and get going. Like, we're not guaranteed to get another turn this game, but we're also not guaranteed to lose. Like, as someone who concedes very quickly, this is definitely within my bounds of we're sitting through this because we're not guaranteed out by any means. Even if they hit the Nexus here, like if one of these other cards isn't a way to draw a bunch of cards, like we're still kind of okay. They have a mobilized district sitting here, which is why I'm not attacking with the Risen Reef, for those asking. Or for those that would ask if I didn't point that out. Oh, yeah. What are the odds they miss on Nexus of Fates? They look at 7 cards and get to pick 2 of them. Oh, yeah. Search for Azcanta. So now we'll concede if they take an extra turn. Because if they take an extra turn here, they get to flip Azcanta, and then they get to, like, look at infinite cards every turn. I'm not sure that you can really make this deck competitive against Nexus. Like, you would need to make it a lot more aggressive, I guess. Do we want Unmoored Ego? Like, is that actually just like the only choice? Because, like, we could probably beat the Planeswalker half of their deck pretty consistently, right? Well, I definitely want temples. Yeah, that's a good call. Split the difference there and play 4 of those. I mean, like, in order for Ego to be good, your deck has to be good against everything else that the Nexus deck can do. And I feel like our deck generates enough value that we can beat any of the creature threats they can play, right? A lot of people board in Unmoored Ego expecting them to cast the card the Nexus player to concede, and that's just not how that works, right? But Unmoored Ego alongside the other tools that we have in our deck might be fine. Maybe. I've never had queue times this long. That really can't be good for Arena. The queue times have been incredibly long this season. I wonder if they're gonna stick out their standards healthy and great mantra until rotation. I would love to be a fly on the wall and see what their metrics look like now versus just at rotation last year. Pretty easy mulligan here. Hand just doesn't do anything for a while. Is it because of summer? It could be because of summer, but it could also just be because the format's not fun. The good decks aren't fun. Playing bad decks against bad decks is a good time. Casual Magic's great. Unfortunately, the more competitively I dive into this format, the less I like it. I definitely think summer is a part of it. But I also know a number of people that just like haven't launched Arena in like 2 months because they've been playing Underlords. Oh, feels bad, man. No, historically speaking, they've banned cards that stay in the format. Like, for example, the 3/3 Dino that's banned right now that was banned last season. Mythic Championship 5 is before rotation, right? It's like August, it's like in September. Hey, Hopix. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced. Seek and find.
Could be a dedicated elementals deck, could be a mass manipulation strategy. If they're a mass manipulation strategy, that's a big take in my mind is like, how do we line up against that? Mythic Championship 5 is October 18 to the 20th. When does rotation happen? Is that like the weekend before rotation? When does the fall set release? Please tell me that's release weekend. Oh wait, really? Is that sweet? If that's just after rotation, that's awesome. If it's just before rotation, that's terrible. There's not a lot of middle ground there, in my opinion.
Through these lands. The land fights for us.
What if rotation happens mid-tournament? That's the ideal situation. That's the ideal situation. What do I even trophy here? I think I'm supposed to trophy this land and like kill Tamiyo, attack Nissa. If I trophy the Nissa, they just pick it back up. So I think we attack this to finish it off, and then we send 2 here, and then we hope to draw land next turn, and that is good enough. Hope these Cavalier of Thorns keep Nissa at bay. Yeah, I agree, Fearburger. I think rotation should happen mid-round, so that anyone playing a control beer gets a game loss for having an illegal deck. If you click on multiple creatures, you can then click where you would.
Like the phases of the moon, find my notes helpful.
Archery releases October 4th. Well, that's good. I'm excited for Mythic Championship 5 now. An MC just after set release is awesome. I'm done with this deck. I'm off of it. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Here we met with you again. All our mid-range decks, they are getting run out by everything. Final offer, if you want to play a more aggro deck now, you can. Alright, Marty, I'm going to hold your blue-green self-mill for another day. Let's play, or maybe we'll play it later today, but we're going to play Black-White Vampires decks. I really feel like I need to run people down. Yeah, these mid-range decks are just rough. I feel like I don't want to be meeting people in the middle of this format, because I feel like no matter how big you go, there's some amount of people that are just being greedier than we are that puts us in an unwinnable position. And all of these mid-range decks just have absolutely rancid Reclamation matchups because they just can't put disruption and pressure at the same time. So let's play some Black-White Vampires up next. We'll leave blue-green